Just to finish up with the Baylor game, very consistent with what we thought after the game, that team played well in all three phases. Offensively, we're efficient. Quarterback played well. Offensive line played well. Caught the football. Running backs got us some tough yards. Defensively, we're able to bottle up at times and eliminate scoring opportunities. And in special teams wise, we're able to be sound overall. So it was a good win for us. And looking forward to our game this week. Obviously, we've got a lot of work ahead, playing a very, very good football team. I don't think there's any question that, depending on who you talk to, that they could think that this is probably the best football team in the country. I know our players are excited about it. Coaches are looking forward to a week of preparation. I'm not sure that we need to go into the detail on all the individuals. I think everybody that covers this part of the country is aware of the quarterback and receiver and the skill they have on the perimeter and running back, and the athleticism that they have on defense, and being number one in the nation against the run, and having a terrific return unit in the kicking game. I think everybody's aware of that. But I know that our football team will work extremely hard this week. We'll come up with a good plan. We're looking forward to competing. We're looking forward to an opportunity to go out and play against what, as I said earlier, what some people may think is the best team in college football. I know it can't be that good. There's got to be a few questions. I'm not that thorough. They're very athletic, Dave. They can run. They're physical, and they've been that way for a number of years. I think they're very well coached. They've always had a dominant pass rusher. It'd be number 2 this year. Puts a lot of pressure on you. Last year, I think it was 80 was the one that put pressure on you. But they have other guys that are exceptional rushers, and then they have speed at the linebacker spot, and then obviously they've got some guys that are playing at the corner position that have some world-class track time. So when you put all that together, you're going to have pretty good defense.
Do you feel a little bit snake bit against them?
Snake bit? Oh, that question comes up every year. I'm not so sure it's snake bit. I just feel like that that when we've played Texas, they've had very good football teams. I don't know if you look back. I'm sure somebody could maybe give us a number offhand over the last 4 years what their overall record is. It's probably pretty good. So in most cases, when you're competing in a team sport against teams that are really good, you have to be sound in all areas. You have to have a good plan, and your players have to be tuned in and play extremely hard to put yourself in a position to win the game. So I think that there's some credit that goes to the players in the last few years for them putting themselves in that position, and then you'd like to eventually find a way to get it done.
So when you look back at those games, you don't think, man, we let that one go, or you just think we lost a good football game to a good team?
Well, I think both. I think that, that's probably the public's opinion at times is we let that one go, but I will say that if you look back over their history, there's been a few people let a few go to them, and they're a good football team, and so they're going to win their share of games. But our plan and our practice preparation and then our effort that we give on Saturday is to find a way to win the football game. And on Sundays and early in the week when we evaluate our play in the previous week, if our players have bought in and have prepared and have gone through the grind each week of preparing and then have played hard, then we're certainly not going to ask anything other than them. We think if that's done enough, ultimately there'll be some wins.
In a week like this, with the history you've had recently, is managing the emotions more important?
I think managing the emotions and the attitude of the team is a big part of college football. I'm not sure that anybody has the answer to that, but in dealing with young people and some of the highs and lows that they go through on a weekly basis, and not only in football but off the field, is very important. And the team chemistry and the relationship with a player and a coach can certainly contribute to the success of the season. So we don't want to get too excited about a game, but we also want to be fully prepared and play with great effort, because I think you have to play with some poise in order to win football games, whether it's a team that's ranked as high as Texas is now, or it's a team that potentially could be dangerous because your players may not see them as a quality opponent, and then they don't prepare during the week. So it works both ways.
For your older players, can they help what they did down there last year? No one expected them to play that close.
Well, I think so, Dave. I think that even over the last few years, that you know, I say this each week. You work hard as a staff and as a team and put together a plan in all three phases, and then you ask them to play hard, and then as a coach you hope that your plan was good, and you know, they're on salary too. They get a chance to make a plan, and so you hope that your plan is either equal to or better than theirs, and then if the players go play hard, you put yourself in a position to have a chance to win the football game, and that's kind of always been the goal.
Do you think Zach's playing as well as he's played? Your Coach Brewer said out there that he thought he just played the most complete game of his career at OSU with the failed.
Well, I don't know if I could go that far back, but he's playing well right now. I think he's playing with more confidence. He's managed the game very well, and in my opinion, being a good quarterback is being able to manage the game and understanding what your strengths are and where their weaknesses are, and try to attack those areas by using what your strengths are as a team, as an offense, I should say. And I think he's done a pretty good job of that in the last few weeks.
Is it safe to say that the team is kind of a reflection of him in terms of having some outside distractions, some on-field challenges, and the way that they've responded together?
When you have as many off-the-field distractions and injuries or things come up that we have this year, you have to have leaders other than the coaches. The coaches are the most important. They have to step up and be the leader. They have to steady the ship, okay, in our opinion. And then secondly, the quarterback in most cases has to be a leader. If you're on a team without a veteran quarterback, then it has to come from somewhere else. Not that it can't be done, but it always helps if it's a quarterback. He's done a good job. Russell has done a good job with that. Keith Hostin's done a nice job with that. DeMarcus Conner doesn't get a lot of catches, but he's been a great leader for us on and off the field through some issues in the last few weeks. Defensively, Parrish Cox has stepped up. We've talked about that. Pat Levine's been a good leader for us. Derek Burton's very quiet, but he's been a good leader for us. Terrence Anderson, you know, there's a number of players. Bryant Ward on special teams for us has really been a good leader for us. And so that's just your chemistry of your team, and you hope that they enjoy being around each other and enjoy practicing, so no matter what happens, that they'll buy in and go play hard.
So that adversity might make it a tougher team on the field, perhaps, dealing with all those issues off the field?
I'm not sure how that really factors in. I think when you look at it from a coach's standpoint, I know personally when we can get results from players that may not have as much experience or may not be as talented in certain areas and they're producing on the field, then I think that that's somewhat gratifying for a coach. And our goal here has never changed from day one and being in the fifth year now with our staff, and that is to develop these guys, put them in a position to have a chance to win every Saturday, and then hope 10 years from now they can be successful in the real world. And I think all of that factors in. Everybody probably gets tired of me saying that, but that's what we believe in. We're very firm on that, and that's our goal each week.
You said last week it was Kendall Hunter's decision to play or not to play based on pain and all those type of things. Does it stay that way this week? Or at any point when you say, hey, I think you can play, we need you to play?
No, I don't think we would ever. I'd have done that 3 weeks ago if I thought I had that much pop. But Kendall Hunter has been very loyal to this program. He's been what you're looking for in a person and a football player, and there's a chance he could play past it beyond this level. And if so, we would never endanger his future. But when he's ready, we feel that he has a strong enough commitment to this team that he'll step out there and play. And I think that we have to give him his space, even though we're all sitting there chomping at the bit and we're on edge because we want Kendall Hunter on the field, coaches included, players included, running backs included. But we can't push him out there until he's ready to go.
Mike, say he says he's ready this week. Okay, the injury, and he's as close to 100% as he could be. How much is his lack of activity a hindrance, or has he had enough reps in practice where you wouldn't worry as much?
Oh, I think he's he's going to lack in some areas. He hadn't had that many reps in practice. He's practiced. I mean, I'm sure everybody keeps looking at me like you're saying he's practiced. Why is he not playing? He's practiced for this will be the third week that he's been out there and he's practiced. But we would hope that his athletic ability would allow him to contribute to the offense. And I certainly wouldn't think he would come in and get 20 carries in the first game. I would think he would be an 8 to 10 carry guy, maybe throw him a few passes and take some of the load off of Keith and Bo.
Is turnovers a concern, though, with him because of lack of contact?
Well, they're always a concern, every day. But there's something to be said about football and playing football and practicing and all that. And you always would be a little hesitant. How much of the workload can he handle and not get fatigued and take care of the football? But he is a mature player. He's played in some big games. We've exhausted him at times, and he's continued to carry the ball. So we would hope that would overcome his lack of playing time in the last 6 weeks or however long it's been now.
Speaking of turnovers, considering the blows he's taken and how many carries he's had, how proud are you of Keith Poston the way he's had ball security?
Well, Keith is I've said this each week and kind of like a broken record now, but he's a success story. Guy that's just endured and persevered and worked through, and he's not said anything about I'm getting pounded and it's too much for me. He just continues to work hard, and hopefully we'll have him for the duration. There is some concern about the amount of carries and the hits he's taken. This is a very physical game. The game has changed in the last 3 or 4 years. Bigger, stronger, faster, and the law of physics tell you that there's going to be more collisions and it's tougher to play. And so we hope that he can continue to stay healthy and we can use him in that capacity because he's certainly helping our offense.